weekend trip to Austin left the Sooners and their star a bit dazed and confused. Austin and its wild ways have had a similar effect on plenty of folks over the years. But seriously, now the question is, how long will it take Blake Griffin to recover? From the Dodge Sports Desk, I'm Jenni Carlson, and this is the OU basketball edition of the Bedlam Nation Conversation with John Helsley. All right, John, you and I know firsthand what Austin can do to you, but Blake Griffin suffered a concussion on Saturday night in Austin, took a couple of shots apparently to the face to cause this. What about Blake? Talk a little bit about his injury and where things stand right now.
Those were physical shots, not shots down on 6th Street.
Exactly.
Nobody really knows for sure how this happened. I know ESPN keeps pointing to kind of a very innocent type shot. They don't think that was it at Oklahoma, although they're not just perfectly clear. They've seen a couple of different things on tape. I don't know, maybe it was a culmination of a couple of different blows, but obviously he was out of it the other night and couldn't help him, and we'll see if he can help him later on tonight.
You said that he walked by you at halftime and it was very clear he was out of it. So what's the prognosis of him possibly playing now less than 48 hours later, essentially against Kansas?
Yeah, I've had some people tell me that a concussion is like a minimum 48-hour type of an injury, and we're going to be right on that 48 hours tonight. So, obviously the doctors are not going to let him play if there's any risk at all. They're monitoring this very closely. I know he was starting to make very good progress on the trip home. They took a preliminary MRI to make sure everything was okay. Everything's checking so far. If there's no headaches and those sort of things, I think there's a chance he plays tonight. We'll have to see.
Yeah, he's a guy that's played through some injuries before, but if this one is unplayable, who fills his spot, and how do the Sooners make up for his absence?
I think they're going to need to do it with several players. Ryan Wright played a lot the other night. He's their, as far as quality big body, he's taller than, say, a Juan Patillo, although Juan plays bigger than he is. He's got long arms and he's a great athlete. I think it'll be those two guys. We might even see like an Orlando Allen that will get in there and bang around for some, give him some minutes. But I think it's going to take a very good compliment from each of those guys to really fill the spot.
How difficult a game does this become for the Sooners with Kansas coming to town? They're obviously not the championship team of a year ago, but Big Monday, all the things that go along with it. Kind of break down this game and this matchup if it is without Blake Griffin.
It becomes a totally different game. As the game the other night did. I think Willie Warren becomes the focus. He's very capable of doing that. We've seen him do it throughout the season, when Blake's been in foul trouble or they've just needed a different element. He's been able to do that. I think we would see that more tonight. The trick is Kansas will also have had some time to consider that in game plan, to maybe do some things to stop Willie. So you're going to need Tony Crocker to play well. You're going to need Austin Johnson to play well. I think a lot of emphasis goes on to the guards. They're not going to be as potent inside without Blake. I think it would become very important that the guards play well and shoot well.
Let's take a step back and look at the big picture for just a second, because I think going into this 3-day, 2-game stretch, a lot of people thought this would be an opportunity for Oklahoma to solidify its spot as one of the number 1 seeds in the NCAA tournament. Now with the loss at Texas and you're facing a tough situation against Kansas, the Sooners, maybe now the dynamic has changed a little bit. Talk big picture about this whole thing. What do the Sooners need to do to feel good about themselves come the end of this week?
I think they're okay in a lot of ways in the big picture. The NCAA will take into consideration that Blake, didn't play a majority of that game tonight. If he doesn't play tonight, they will consider that as well. But there's kind of an internal feeling too that when you're going well and you feel invincible, that's one thing. But when you take a little nick, you can maybe have some things, some doubt. You also give other teams hope. I think it's important that they play well tonight. If they don't have Blake and they lose, kind of have to see how they react to that. If they have Blake, they need to win this game tonight and move back on and kind of reestablish themselves as the team that's, the best team in this conference and one of the best teams in the country.
They nearly pull off the win at Texas without Blake. If he's not there tonight, they're at home. They're probably playing a team that's comparable to Texas. If they would win this, could that be sort of an unexpected benefit, shot in the arm that, obviously you don't want your superstar on the bench, but that maybe that could be a great thing down the stretch?
Absolutely. And, they almost did that the other night in a really tough environment. The Irwin Center is not always a difficult place to play. It was the other night for the Sooners. I was very impressed with the crowd, and likewise, I was impressed with the way Oklahoma responded. Tonight, maybe Jeff Capel could have brought Bob Stoops out to kind of challenge the OU basketball fans or something. They need a big-time environment tonight to help carry them through and lift them back up. But you're right. If they would win this game tonight without Blake, I think that really sends a message that, hey, number one, it's not a one-man team. We around here don't think that, but you never know what people nationally think. And, it's a team to be reckoned with.
Definitely. John will continue providing in-depth coverage of all things OU basketball related. For all the news and analysis, stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.